Welcome back to The Independent as we welcome back our party panel, Katherine and Basil. New York police, they have just broken up a cockfighting ring. Good thing I included the word fighting in there, otherwise I would have gotten a strongly worded memo from Kevin McGee. I love you, Kevin. Thousands of birds were cuffed and rounded up. So much for the end of stop and frisk. How barbaric is the sport of cockfighting? Suderman, over here.
It's totally barbaric, right?
Yes.
Totally barbaric.
It's awful.
And it's incredibly, I mean, oh. That's what I got for you.
You've got roosters who are in cages, and they strap razor blades to them, and then they fight to the death. These poor birds.
Razor blades?
Have you not heard of cockfighting?
I have, but you know, I'm sort of in the pristine mode of cockfighting, if there is such a thing.
A pure form.
Like insulting each other?
Yes. I'm not for body armor on my roosters.
It's more elegant.
Roosters and Kevlar, yeah.
Yeah, Kevlar. It's horrible. I can't imagine that. How did all of this go undetected for so long? That's my question.
That's a big party.
It's horrible.
I guess the Department of Homeland Security was involved in the raid, though. I don't really know how it's a national security threat. I'd be kind of interested to know just what, maybe they should, you know, they have a lot of important things to do.
There are a lot of Latino cultures.
Making sure I don't bring vitamin water on the airplane.
It's a subculture within many Latino communities, so there you go. That might be your answer. Kmele, should cockfighting be illegal?
I hate cockfighting. I think it's awful and terrible.
I didn't ask you if you like cockfighting.
But no, people shouldn't go to prison if they're involved in cockfighting.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
No.
Really? You should just be able to
felony charges. Felony charges.
The notion, well, we could talk about dog fighting too. I love dogs.
I would never want to hang out with
I have a dog. My dog's Knox. Maybe we have a picture of Knox, my dog.
Really?
Well, this is,
seriously?
Yeah, look, that's Knox.
Should Michael Vick have gone to prison?
I don't think.
Should Michael Vick have gone to prison?
I think we should be able to castigate people, call them names, even fire them for their job if they do things that we don't like.
So you should be able to torture animals.
Here's the reality. We have this charismatic megafauna, which are in a special category and we're not allowed to harm. And then we have cows, which we are allowed to put into small boxes from the moment that they're born. I think that's kind of like torture. This is veal. It's never allowed to walk. And then we cut it into small pieces and consume it. This is what I'm talking about. So I think it's a little strange.
But they're hurting each other.
I do consume roosters. Sometimes they hurt each other. And sometimes they're asked to hurt one another. And I think it's terrible. I think it's awful. The question becomes, when people do awful things to animals or to themselves, do we get to incarcerate them? And for me,
no, because
the
Plato
answer is
said
probably
no man can truly harm himself.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Yeah. And I think that sounds right to me.
Yeah.
Except it's not.
But you can harm an animal.
You can harm
and you can have animals harm each other. You can certainly
harm an animal, but animals don't have rights the way people do, in which case, purist libertarian Kmele, and maybe we don't all agree on this, but I would say that I don't think it ought to be
now,
illegal.
Peter Suderman, you're a pure libertarian. You are untainted by the outside world.
I don't know if anybody could be as pure a libertarian as you. But look, isn't it possible that animals don't have the same rights as people do, but that humans have an obligation not just to animals, but to each other, not to take pleasure simply from cruelty?
Right, and I would agree with all of that. The question that you have to, but the leap that I have to make is once I get from there is I'm going to lock people away who don't do what I like.
But I'm not saying 20 years.
No, it's not a question of doing what you like.
They're felonies.
Purposely hurting an animal. I mean, you're inflicting pain on something that cannot defend itself.
It's terrible.
Then people who abuse children shouldn't be.
That is not the same thing.
Why is it not the same thing?
Children are in fact people. They are people.
They are people.
They have rights. Like,
I mean,
people have rights.
You could argue that a smart dog has the same rational capacity as a young child.
Perhaps.
As a
perhaps he has the same rational capacity.
In your world,
but he's not a.
We can hurt dogs. Like we're good. Like Michael Vick, he's super
I don't
cool.
want this to happen. I'm not suggesting that.
You just don't want people locked up for it.
I'm suggesting that even in a world where it's illegal, it happens
high-five
anyways.
people.
I don't want that. I don't want to be a bad guy. I love dogs. I love my dog.
Well,
I feel bad.
Look, well, our dogs can fight then, and none of us will get in trouble.
I would like. This is what I want to do. I want to take my roosters and strap razor blades to its body and let it loose on your dog.
That would be
How happy would you be?
I would be miserable.
How happy would you be?
I don't want that.
Of course you don't want that, and you would want my ass thrown in jail.
Exactly.
I would never.
Because I'd be a bad person, and I have given up some of my rights by hurting animals. Ooh.
Look, you're okay with social pressure.
I am totally fine with that.
But you're not okay with
people
collectively saying,
Using
I mean, so if everybody says this person is awful and we should get rid of this person, we should,
So we can put them in the town square and throw tomatoes at them all day.
I'm making a rather difficult argument. It's not the hardest argument in the world to make, but at the end of the day, for me, I want to apply the law consistently. We give these sorts of rights to people and children.
So we can just hurt animals and have.
We do it. We eat
no
them.
recourse at all.
We consume them, and I'm not mad at you.
But that's for sustenance as opposed to
entertainment.
entertainment.
The
steak was delicious.
Can I eat your dog?
No, that's my dog.
Can I eat your dog?
Property. My property. My dog. I love him.
Chattel.
I love you, Knox. He's at home. He's not watching, but he's at home.
Yeah, those roosters, they belong to
I don't
me.
think you love your dog.
Wow.
The dork off is coming. Who is a bigger nerd, Peter Suderman or Kmele Foster? We'll put comics and zombies to the test. There can be only one. Stay with us.